everything you need to know about how to prospect with the goyaPhone in just one video. Here is the list of the functionalities that we're going to cover. You can pause the video, browse the list, and fast forward to a particular functionality. So this is the Make Calls page. This is the workhorse of the site. On top here, you've got the mini lead sheet. It shows you the list of the leads that are currently loaded in the phone. In the middle here, you've got the dialer. This is where we're going to be making calls. And on the bottom here, you've got all the lead information. On the left, the prospect information with the contact, business, phones, and such. And on the right, all the sales history with the call history, the notes, the appointments, emails, and the status history. One click here, back to top. And so let's start with the dialer. Here you've got a phone number that's loaded, ready to dial. Ends with 73, it's the work phone. You can see it here in the list of phone numbers. If a lead has multiple phone numbers, you can simply click on the phone number and it'll load it in the dialer. Right here we're on the residential phone number, the one that ends with 58. One click here again, and we're back on the work phone. To make the call, you simply click the dial button right here. It's ringing, and when a person picks up, by default, it's considered to be a prospecting phone call, nothing special. Sometimes it's worse, it's the voicemail, so one click here. And sometimes it's a real sales call and you're talking to a decision maker, one click here. And just like that, you've made the phone call in one click, you've qualified the phone call in just one click, and you've saved all the call history and the lead information without any manual data entry. No manual data entry. While you're on the phone, you can mute and unmute a call right here. One click to mute, one click to unmute. Here you've got the dial pad. Click here. Now this isn't actually to dial the phone number. This is to navigate an automated answering system. So press 1 for sales, press 2 for support, or enter an extension number and then press pound right here. So that's the dial pad. When you're done with the phone call, you press hang up. Now you've noticed that here you can select the call outcome. You can go right here on the profiles page in the application settings, and you see setting number 2. Leads automatically convert from prospecting phone calls to sales calls, and you can select the number of minutes where by default it's automatically going to convert. Back here on the Make Calls page. So that's for the dialer. For the emails, one click here on the email button. Here you've got the list of recipients. So here you can see that this is for William Cox. It's considered as a 2 recipient. Barbara Ward, it's another contact on the lead. You can add her as a CC'd recipient. And here you can add another contact right from this pop-up. So for example, send it to Mary Jones. So Mary, I'm going to just put this like this, Mary Jones. And you can CC this person. And this is going to add the contact. On the bottom here, you can choose the email template. So for the email template, we're going to choose, for example, welcome on board. This one, we're going to customize it for William. And here you've got the email signature. So this is useful if you're, for example, using an email signature that's configured in your software where you have your name, your business information, the company logo, or you can click here and use the one provided by the goyaPhone. And you press send, and the email sent. Now the email is sent, it's actually going to work with the mail to protocol that's configured on your operating system. Right here, profile, application setting, and you can select the type of email client that you're using. You're either using a local program, such as Outlook or Thunderbird. It's a software that's installed on your computer. Or you're using a web-based email. If you're using a web-based email, you may require a plugin that you can download, and you want to make sure you enable the plugin when you've installed it. The way I have it configured on my computer is that I use my web-based email for everyday use, and then when I'm prospecting with the goyaPhone, I'm using Thunderbird, and I use the local program setting right here. Going back to the Make Calls page. For the emails here, when you click on an email, you can see the email history pop up right here. So for example, here is the list of all the emails we've sent, and you can change the email right here. Close the pop-up. And that's how the emails work. For the appointments, you move your mouse on the appointment button, and it'll show you a shortcut bar. Oftentimes when you're prospecting, people say, well, call me back in an hour, call me back in half an hour. And so you simply click on the button right here. For example, plus 60 is call me back in an hour. One click to confirm, and the appointment's booked. When an appointment is booked, it'll show right here. You see? Appointment set, William Cox at 1:50 in an hour from now. When an appointment is booked, on the lead information, it'll appear right here. So you can see that this is a callback appointment. It's booked for today. And then you need to actually resolve the appointment to do it. So there are a couple options here. Either the appointment gets done as planned. So if that's the case, you click on the Done button. And you see here the appointment is noted as set. When you press confirm, then the appointment is noted as done. And the appointment gets done as planned. Now let's see another example. Let's this time click on the button. And here we have the appointment editor that appears. So if a person tells you, well, call me back on the 30th at 4:30 in the afternoon, you can add a little note here, appointment note. We've noticed here that when you click on the date, you have the list of the other appointments for that date. That way you can check for conflicts. By default, an appointment is considered to be a callback appointment, nothing that special, but sometimes it's a sales presentation, and you click right here. Now this means that this is an appointment that's going to require some preparation. Maybe it's an appointment you need to go to, and so that enables you to have two levels of separations for you to enable you to separate the kind of appointments you have. Press Save Appointment. Press Confirm, and now the appointment again is booked. Now let's see what happens with the other two options. So sometimes an appointment, you call back and they're not there, and then you click it as absent. Or sometimes they cancel on you, and that happens too. Press right here, press confirm, and now the appointment is noted as canceled. And that's useful so that later on, if you need to find all the appointments that have either canceled on you or where they're not there, you can easily find them. And that's how the appointments work. When you're on the phone, when you're on the Make Calls page, you see here the appointments for today. Here are the ones that are set. Here are the ones that are late. And here are the ones that you did today. That's how the appointments work. Let's take a look at the favorites button. So there are some leads where you need quick access to. So you just add them to your favorite right here. One click here, and it's added to your favorites. The favorites list, easy to access. Right here on the G. One click on the G, and it toggles for the appointments. One click on the G, toggles back to your favorites list. And that's how the favorites work. Let's keep going with the status. So this is the status bar. One status is the DNC status, do not call. One click here, and it blocks the phone. Until, of course, you change it to a different status. Here is the goal status. Yeah, I got it. Goal. And that might mean you've either closed the sale on the phone or you've scheduled an appointment for an in-person appointment. And then there are three other status, hot, warm, and cold. So you see here, when I move the mouse over the hot button, it shows you a date. Meaning the lead, if I press this button, is going to be hot until June 24th. I press here, and now it's hot until June 24th, and you see right here. Sometimes it's not hot, it's warm, so this time it's going to be warm until July 24th. One click here. And you see here, every time I click, it sets the date at which the status expires. When the status expires, it automatically degrades on that date to the following status. So for example here, on July 24th, it'll degrade back to a cold lead. And then it'll go back into a new lead. That setting is defined right here. And so by default, leads automatically convert from hot to warm after 30 days. And you can change that and adjust it to your particular business, warm to cold. Or you can choose your specific date. So for example, you can say, well, this lead is hot. So we click the hot button and then we click again and it opens up the calendar and enables you to select the expiration date of that status. So in sales, sometimes people make decisions at a certain date. So for example, this lead is hot until June 14th. And on June 14th, they're going to be making a buying decision. And either you got it or you don't. And so it's hot until June 14th. And so that's how the status works. Now let's take a look at the notes right here. When you're on the phone, you can simply add a little note, so tell you, well, there's another person you need to talk to. You need to talk to Mary Jones, for example. So you put Mary Jones. Actually, we already had Mary Jones, so we're going to put Mary Davids. Mary Davids, and they give you a phone number, 408 483 8021. Press enter to save. And you get all your notes right here. And this is useful because we also want to need to edit the lead information. So let's click right here on the top of the section, and it'll open the editor of that section. So we start with the contact. One click here. And here you can see the notes of today that are appearing right here. If you want to add a new contact to the lead, one click here. And now we can just copy paste. For example, Mary, first name, David's, see, copy paste. Right here. The phone number, add it right there. And here you can see you have an arrow next to the name. When you click here, it moves the order of that contact in the lead. And the first contact here is considered to be the primary contact. So when we save changes, you see Mary Davids appears first. So that's for the contact. For the business information, one click here to edit. So business name, we're going to put MyBiz, for example. Website, www.mybiz.com. Business email, we're going to put info@mybiz.com. And we press Save Changes. Now notice here, you've got the business now. Notice here, the mini lead sheet reorganized itself. It added the business in the column. If you're calling consumers, then it doesn't have the business information, but if you're calling B2B, then it's going to have the business in the mini lead sheet right here. So that's to edit the business information, the phone information, pretty self-explanatory. What else do we have? Address, custom fields. Let's look at that. So custom fields, let's say you're working in the mortgage business, in the real estate business. An important field is the interest rate. So we're going to put interest rate. Right here, we're going to put 5%. And we'll press Save Changes. And that custom field is now added to this lead. Right here. Now let's take a look at something. If we go to the next lead, and we go back down here on the custom fields, now you can see that the interest rate is added to this lead as well. Because we assume that if you're using a field on a lead, it's probably the same field that you're going to be using on every lead. So now you can put 3.5 and you can add another field. For example, we can put the home value right here. This one we're going to put 650K. Press Save Changes. And now you've got these two custom fields that are added to this lead. Let's keep going. We have the lead information here. So this enables you to move the lead to a different folder. As you know, in the goyaPhone, your leads go into lead sheets, and your lead sheets go into folders right here. Let's move to the next lead. What else can we do? We can export the lead, and that's going to export the lead in an Excel format. And we can delete the lead. Now, when you delete a lead, there are two possibilities. If you've already made a call on that lead, then we're going to preserve every information we need to display the call history, meaning the name information, the business information, the phone numbers. That information will be preserved, but all the sales history will be deleted. So that's how to delete a lead. Now let's take a look at the top here, the mini lead sheet. So here it shows you the details of the lead selector. How did these leads get here? One click here, and you'll see that these 170 leads got here because you created a selector today, a lead selector. In the load phone page, you selected all the statuses, the dates you've chosen to include the call history for, the call outcome, and the sales outcome, no preference, meaning all of them, and the lead sheets and folders that were selected. And so that's what this is for. And here it shows you the lead information we're on, with 3 out of 170. Press next lead, next lead. You can also move from lead to lead by clicking here, 1 lead at a time, or clicking here, 2 leads at a time. See, 2 leads at a time. Here is the toggle of the page. 1 page, page 2, page 3. Or you can go here, and you can go directly to page 1, right here. And that's how the Make Calls page work. all the lead information, the sales history, and on the right here, you get the appointments of today, ones that are set, done, and top here, you get the call statistics for today. And that's everything you need to know about how to prospect with the goyaPhone. Thank you very much.